Hello everyone and welcome. I am Mr. Mike O'Neill. I will be your instructor, and before I dive into the course, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. Okay, first of all, a little bit of a quick biography. 1970, I was 9 years old. I accepted Christ in Angeles City, the Philippines. Normally I'm probably not what you would expect from somebody that got saved in a mission church, but there you go. 1977, I wrote my first program in the Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code, also known as BASIC. That was at South Carolina Governor's School here in South Carolina, down in Charleston. 1979, I joined the South Carolina National Guard. I had about 9-day break before leaving high school and reporting for basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. 1983, I graduated from Furman University, a Bachelor of Science in Math Physics. From 1984 to 1986, I was on active duty in Germany, and part of what I did was I implemented computers. There was this new thing called the personal computer, and we were figuring how it worked. And the main thing we used it for was word processing. Meanwhile, the artillery was moving to computers for fire direction. From 86 to 88, I used Apple computers as a high school teacher. 1988, I got married. I have 3 sons. From 88 to 91, I was a computer coordinator for Radiation Health, which is an industrial hygiene type of organization at Charleston Naval Shipyard. From 1991 to 2000, I basically did the same job for NPTU Charleston, which is one of the tenant units of the weapons station. And while I was doing that, I implemented a personal computer for them. In 2000, I obtained my Master of Science in Health Physics from Georgia Tech. I was a video student. When it came time for the graduation, they said, "Would you like to take part in a graduation exercise?" And I said, "Should I send a videotape of me walking across the stage?" And they weren't too amused. Okay, 2001 to 2009, I was the application administrator for NPU2 Charleston, same place on the weapons station, only I moved to the IT department. In 2009, I retired from the National Guard with 30 years. I started off as a private first class and ended up as a lieutenant colonel. From 2009 to 2021, I was a database administrator for another of the tenant units for the weapons station. Basically, this was the unit that fed the other unit students. This was the nuclear training pipeline, and these were 2 stops on it for the students. 2021, I retired from FLUR and started teaching full-time at Charleston Southern University. This is a case where a hobby turned into a career. If you look up here, you see where I was an adjunct at Trident Tech and Charleston Southern University. Well, I actually taught part-time 10 years here before I actually started here. Okay, teaching philosophy. My teaching philosophy is affected by the School of Hard Knocks, which I am a enrolled member of. It seems like you are always learning as long as you live. When I think about teaching, the first thing that comes to mind is 1 Corinthians 12:14. For the body does not consist of one member, but of many. God has equipped all of us with our own individual talents and our own individual abilities. And He did that because we each have our own works. God has a mission for each one of us, and it's better than anything you can imagine. As an educator, I get the privilege to help you discover and develop God's plan for you. The classes I teach you basically have 3 levels of application for the information in there. Okay, and then heading back to the School of Hard Knocks, I try to pass these along to you because this is a quote from Andrew Rickover. It says, "It is necessary for us to learn from others' mistakes. You will not live long enough to make them all yourself." I'll be glad to pass along what I've learned in my 40 years in the workforce. Okay, first level of application is something that you can learn as an IT professional. I had roughly 20 years as an IT professional. I could pass on what I've learned about program, what I've learned about the IT development cycle, and things of that nature. The other thing that I could pass on is workplace skills. Now, in high school and maybe in early college, you're Teachers drilled into the importance of being punctual, being neat, and all that. Those are certainly important. And we may have discussions about just how that works out in the workplace. I will tell you, in general, in the workplace, your report card is not nearly as explicit as it is in school, but it is more important. Okay, finally, there's life skills. There's things I've learned from just being around for 61 years, and whatever I've learned, I'd like to share with you. So that's enough about me. Now on to the course.